We are well into the new year, so I thought now would be a good time to go through my Blu-ray collection. It has been about 10 months since I made the last one, and then since then I have more than doubled the amount of Blu-rays I have. So yeah, we've got a big stack to go through. Anyways, what is good, CV Nation? Welcome back to another upload. Today we are obviously going to be going through my entire Blu-ray collection. I have, I think, around 111 the last time I checked. I have like a private list on Letterboxd. I think it told me like around 111 movies, so we're going to be going through every single one, going to be giving you a brief description in terms of my thoughts on them, just based on, you know, how much I enjoy them or what do I think about them. For those of you who are finding my channel for the very first time, do me a favor, watch this video all the way until the end, and if you enjoy, click that like button, that subscribe button, as well as the notification bell, because on this channel I make video essays on movies. If that sounds like content that might interest you, then you're going to want to stick around for what I have planned in the future. Anyways, enough chit chat. We have a lot of movies to get through, so let's get into it. We'll start with one of my favorite franchises, possibly my favorite franchise of all time, the Mission Impossible franchise. This is Mission Impossible 1. This is just a classic. Love it. Solid action movie, and you gotta love Tom Cruise. Next up is Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. I don't have two well, I do have three. Three is on DVD, though. I don't have two in any capacity, because that's the only one that I don't really like. But Ghost Protocol, though. I really like this one. This is the Burj Khalifa one. Epic action. Not as big of a fan as some people. It's in the lower half of my list, but I still really enjoyed. Next up, we have Rogue Nation. Seems to be one that a lot of people place towards the bottom. I still enjoyed it. I think it's at like my number 5 spot. All of them are great, except the second one, so it's like really hard to rank them, but I still enjoy it. This is still solid. Like, even on the back, you can see him on the plane there. That's an epic scene, man. Next up, we have Fallout. This is easily the best one out of all of them. This has to be the most tightly written, just airtight script, but even besides that, it just has like the most... It's just packed to the brim with just epic action sequences. It's just like a really solid story. It's just a really engaging story. Really do like this one. Next up, we have Murder on the Orient Express. This is actually a movie I really don't like for a long time. This was one of my least favorite movies of all time. I wouldn't say it is anymore, but it's just really boring. I just found it really, really boring. Next up is Paddington. This is just a really nice, heartwarming, charming family film. I've heard the sequel is even better, so I've been looking for the sequel for a long time. Hopefully I end up enjoying it, but this is solid. If you haven't seen Paddington, it's just do yourself a favor, watch it. It's just a really nice kind of comfort film almost. Next up, Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs. Is this his first? No, this is not his first film, but this is really solid. I really did enjoy it. It's just something about his films just resonate differently. Like, they just hit different. This one, obviously the dialogue is awesome, but just the entire story is just really intriguing, and I just love the way he tells his stories. It's just really, really unique. I think this is great. Next up, we have the Planet of the Apes trilogy, starting off with Rise. This is really, really entertaining, but I wouldn't call it the best of the trilogy. It's still really entertaining, though. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, argument can be made that this is the best of the trilogy. I still don't think it is. I still find this one good, but not as good as War for the Planet of the Apes, which is next. This is actually still in this wrapping. I've never opened this since I bought it. I will open it soon. I just really like the Deadpool cover. This is the best one, in my opinion, out of the trilogy. I think this is the best one. I really do. I just think it's the most solid. Next up is my favorite movie of all time, The Prestige by Christopher Nolan. It has my favorite ending to any film ever, but it's also just, it has great performances, but it's just the way he tells the story, the way it's structured, the way it's layered. Obviously, it's not perfect, but it's just very, very few issues, and it's just a really solid movie, man. I cannot watch this too many times. I just can't. Next up, we have my Spider-Man collection. I own every Spider-Man movie, but I actually do stuff in a different way than most people. I have it in order of my favorite to my least favorite. So we're starting with this, actually my favorite Spider-Man movie, and that is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I know, controversial pick, but this is the one I have the most fun with, and this is the one that I just find the most heart in. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Then we have The Amazing Spider-Man 1. This is still a little controversial, but this is just, it's a sweet movie. It's one of my favorite films to just put on and just enjoy. It's just so easy to enjoy. It's a sweet film. I really do like it. Then we have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Clearly, by far, one of the most beloved Spider-Man films. And for a long time, I thought this was overrated. I don't anymore. It's airtight. It's a fantastic script. Subjectively, though, it's about an 8 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed it. I really dig it. Just not as much as the Amazing films, to be honest with you. I know it's a controversial pick, but it's a controversial opinion, but that's just how I feel. Then we have Spider-Man 2. Used to be really high up for me, but then I started to kind of find more of its flaws, especially in its writing. It's a very flawed movie, but besides all of that, I can still have a good time with it. I still can. I can still have a good time with it. It's still pretty fun. Spider-Man Homecoming Steelbook. I forgot to mention we do have some Steelbooks in here. Spider-Man Homecoming is just, it's a movie I've come around on, to be honest with you, because I never loved it, and for a point in time I didn't really like it, but I started to come around on it. I started to notice a lot of the merits in its writing. I started to notice that, you know, I came around with the whole adaptation thing. I was like, you know what, why am I holding this movie accountable for not being like something that it's not obligated to be like? And I realized, hey, this is actually a pretty solid movie, so I can't wait to rewatch this. I really want to rewatch this. It's just it's a fun time. It really is. Then we have Spider-Man 1. Spider-Man 1 is another one that I used to hold up really high, but then I started to notice a lot more of its flaws. I still have a great time with it, though. These three movies, this Raimi trilogy, this is my childhood right here. This is what I would put on every single time. I've seen every single movie over 200 times. It's just really, really nostalgic for me. Then we have Spider-Man 3, and I still have a great time with this. This is another one that I watched a lot of nostalgia, and it has some great moments in there, but it's very flawed. A lot of problems, everybody can admit. It's not a great movie. And then at the bottom, we have Spider-Man Far From Home. This is the only Spider-Man film that I don't really enjoy. I still have a little bit fun with it. I think there are some bits of comedy that do land, but as a whole, not a fan of the movie. Next up, we're getting into the X-Men collection. So we have X-Men 1. This is just great. This is great. It's just great. That's all I'm gonna say about it. It's great. Then we have X2, Even Greater, one of those sequels that actually improves upon the original. X-Men The Last Stand, we don't talk about this one. X-Men First Class, my second favorite in the entire franchise. So it gets really overlooked, but I think people are starting to realize that it is fantastic, honestly. And the score, too, really underrated score. Days of Future Past, my third favorite in the franchise. So epic, so epic. That's how you do time travel, people. The Wolverine, haven't seen this in a long time. Obviously, it's still in its wrapping. Enjoyable. And then Logan, the perfect swan song for this character. Just absolutely mesmerizing. So freaking good. And finishing off pile number 1, Wonder. I read this book, right? And I love the book. So I haven't heard anything about this movie, actually, but it looks good. Maybe I'll like it. All right, time for pile 2. Disclaimer: I dropped this thing while I was moving it over here, so I have a trilogy in here. I think it might have gotten a little out of order, so sorry about that. Let's just keep going though. Central Intelligence. This is actually really funny. I actually really enjoy this. This is a solid comedy. Creed. Never seen it. Creed 2. Never seen it. I haven't seen any of the Rocky movies except the first one. I will get to them eventually though. Oh yeah, I definitely messed up the Bourne trilogy. Bourne Ultimatum, haven't seen it yet, do plan on it. What's this? Dark Waters. This is actually a really underrated 2019 movie. I actually really enjoyed this. Great performances, and actually really, really intriguing. Despicable Me 1. I think it's the best of the trilogy. Yeah, I think it's the best of the trilogy. Really nice little family film. Okay, now we have The Bourne Supremacy. Haven't seen this one either. Do plan on it. Then we have The Hitman's Bodyguard. This is actually a really underrated film that I love to recommend to people because it's a really fun time. A lot of great humor bits, but also some great action. It had some overlooked action. I thought it was very well choreographed. Bourne Identity. This one I have seen and I really did enjoy it. This is honestly one of my favorite action films of all time, actually. Then we have the Home Alone collection. So we have both Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2. Let me just take it out of that case there. This is another childhood favorite, but rewatching it recently still holds up perfectly fine. I think the first one's a little bit better, but both of them, so good. So good. They're some of the best Christmas films of all time. Then we have Final Destination 5. I think this is the only Final Destination film that I have seen. Can't remember if it's any good or not, but hey, I enjoyed it when I was little. I watched it when I was like 10 years old. Hey, I had a good time. Us. Ooh, almost dropped it. Us. This is... I don't think I like it more than Get Out. I think it's definitely weaker than Get Out. But it's one of those films that improves upon rewatches, for sure. Detective Pikachu. This was one that I was really looking forward to in 2019. I was a little disappointed by it, but it's a fun time. Hey, I enjoyed it. Not bad. Doctor Strange. This is one of the most underrated MCU films in my opinion. It's also the only MCU film that I own on Blu-ray. Visuals are great, and I love this story. I love this character too. Next we have Die Hard, one of my favorite action films of all time, and one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. Despicable Me 3. This was definitely better than 2. 2 is probably my least favorite, which I actually have next up. I'll just show it right now. 2 is probably my least favorite, but they're both fun. They're both fun. I like the trilogy. Next we have another one of my favorite movies of all time, probably top 3, Hacksaw Ridge. Andrew Garfield gives my favorite lead performance of all time, and this is easily my favorite war film. This is just all around such an incredible movie. Highly, highly recommend. I actually have a video coming out on this sometime in the near future. Next we have Gravity, Alfonso Cuarón. I really enjoyed it. It's got like one moment that's a little timsy, but other than that, really solid and amazing visuals. Amazing visuals. Incredible cinematography. Ghostbusters, classic. Really like it. Get Out. Didn't like it. These are both of Jordan Peele's movies. I didn't enjoy as much as everyone else, but Get Out, really, I liked quite a bit. Forrest Gump, another classic, love it. Furious 7, really like it, probably my favorite of the Fast and Furious movies. Fast and Furious 6, it's okay. First Man, this is Damien Chazelle, and based on Whiplash, I'm sure it's a masterpiece. First Blood. This is my favorite action movie of all time. This is my #1 favorite action movie of all time. It's kind of nostalgic for me, not really though. I just think it just holds up incredibly well. Eddie the Eagle, really nice, heartwarming film. I think this is actually really awesome. And Taron Egerton, Hugh Jackman, I love their dynamic throughout the movie. And rounding out this pile, we have the Dunkirk Steelbook. It perfectly captures like this thing that I just really applies to me when it comes to movies, and that's that if you can stick the landing, I am much more likely to be more positive on the property as a whole. The first half of this movie is not very engaging. I find it kind of boring. The second half, though, is just masterful. It's really just masterful. Wow. Dunkirk is wow. Alrighty, next pile. We have The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. One of those few classic movies, old westerns that I haven't seen. Really excited though. I love the theme, the soundtrack. The theme is awesome. Upgrade. Awesome, underrated movie. Leigh Whannell can do no wrong. This movie is freaking awesome. I've got a project related to this coming in the future. Keep your eyes open. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, classic action movie, really solid, really like it. Spy Next Door, one of my favorite childhood movies. Jackie Chan is just really, really awesome in this. It's just a really fun movie. This is the movie that kind of inspired, kind of ignited my love for spy action stuff. Source Code, another underrated movie. Jake Gyllenhaal is really good. The story can be a little confusing, and I'm sure there are parts of it that are a little flimsy, but other than that, it's actually really cool. And the ending is pretty. It had me thinking for a good 2 days, like what just happened. But I did figure it out. Skyfall Steelbook. Gonna be honest, not a fan. Not a fan of the movie. I'm not saying it's not a good movie. I'm just saying, personally, not a fan. Shazam. And I love the little lenticular cover for it. There we go. Is it working? It's kind of working. Such a good time. Such a heartwarming movie. Really, really like it. Second favorite DCEU for me. Shaun of the Dead. 7. This is like top 10 or top 8 of all time for me. Favorite David Fincher flick. What's in the box? What's in the box? Who knows? What could be in the box? Saw. Another one of my favorite movies of all time. This is... the way it ramps up the intensity towards the end is mind-blowing. That's all I'm going to say. Rush Hour. Really fun buddy cop film. One of my favorites from my childhood. This is really, really fun as well. Prisoners, Denis Villeneuve. Probably my second favorite from him. This is really, really atmospheric. One of my favorite films that just really perfectly describes what I mean by an atmospheric film. Next up, we have the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King. Easily one of the best trilogies in all of cinema. It is phenomenal. Lego Ninjago movie. A little underwhelming. Not gonna lie, I was expecting more out of it, but hey, it was still pretty funny. Lego Batman. Now this is the best Lego movie. This is such an awesome movie. I swear. Knives Out. Really enjoy the film. It does have a lot of problems in its script though. Spoiler alert, gonna spoil stuff real quick. Harlan's plan relies on the fact that Marta is going to be seen leaving and then Harlan is going to be seen alive, but for that to happen, Harlan has to be seen alive by somebody, obviously, and that's going to be his son, Walt. The problem though is that Walt doesn't live at that house and there is no way of knowing whether or not he's going to be on that porch. So it's very, very convenient that for his plan that Walt is on the porch and that she can confirm Marta left and that Harlan was seen alive. And he has to be turning around in order to see his dad inside. It gets convoluted. It gets kind of convenient. It gets contrived. But what can I say? It's a fun movie. It really is. It's a really fun movie. King Kong. This movie kind of scared me when I was little, not gonna lie, but it did invoke my love for King Kong, which is my favorite monster from the monster universe. Kill Bill Volume 1, another movie I loved to watch when I was a child. Should I have? Probably not, but hey, what can I do about it? This is freaking awesome. This is a freaking awesome movie. Really, really cool. Karate Kid reboot. I actually really enjoy it, I'm gonna be honest. Jurassic World. Super awesome to watch in IMAX. Haven't seen it since, but I remember liking it. Jurassic Park. Obviously a classic. The Jungle Book reboot, really enjoy it, pretty awesome. Oops. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, really funny. Jumanji, The Next Level, even funnier, not as good though. And then we have the John Wick trilogy. So John Wick 1, 2, and 3. 3 is in 4K actually. One of the few 4K movies I own. Terminator 2 was also in 4K. This trilogy is awesome, but I gotta say the first one is probably the most solid. The second one is the one I enjoy the most. Third one's the weakest, and the one I enjoy the least. Alrighty, final pile, let's do it. Venom, also known as Cinema. It's a fun time, but not a good movie. The Way Back came out in 2020. I was really excited because I'm a huge basketball guy, and I also love sports movies. Kind of disappointed me, not gonna lie. The Walk. Haven't seen it yet. Really excited. It's with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's Robert Zemeckis about a dude. I think this is a true. Yeah, it's a true story. The dude who walked across the Twin Towers. Really excited to check this out, man. Hotel Transylvania 1, 2, and 3. 3 is okay. 1 is bad. 2 I like. There you go. Inception. I can't remember. I find it a tad bit overrated, but it's still really, really cool. Like it's such an awesome movie. It's actually the movie that kind of got me into Nolan as a filmmaker, who's now currently my favorite filmmaker of all time. The Invisible Man, Leigh Whannell, who also made Upgrade. Dude, this was epic. This was epic, dude. I did not expect this to be as good as it was, but it was that good. Ip Man 2. I don't have any of the other ones, but this is not my favorite one. The first one's my favorite one. It's still okay. I watched Ip Man 4. On Netflix a month or so ago, and I thought it was okay. The Iron Giant. I've heard great things. I've never seen it. I shall watch it soon. Same thing with It. I actually wanted to watch this movie for a long time. Could not find it on Blu-ray anywhere, but I found it for a good deal. Glad I did. Jaws. Classic Spielberg. Love it. Joker. Pretty much a masterpiece. Pretty much a masterpiece. Like, it's honestly unbelievable how good this movie was. It had no business being as good as it was. Just saying. 12 Monkeys. Interesting film. Kind of weird, kind of hard to get used to. But once you kind of figure out what it's doing and, like, the tone, it's still really weird. But hey, it's fine. It's fine. 13 Hours. Still haven't seen this. Michael Bay and John Krasinski. So I shall watch it soon. 1917 was my favorite of 2019 when it came out. Not anymore, but it's still very high up there. Sorry about that, guys. I hit my camera with the Blu-ray. It happens. Really solid, though. Really love it. 300. Favorite Zack Snyder film. Just the best movie to just watch. Just put it on and just watch it. You're going to have a good time. Winding down here, folks. 310 to Yuma, Russell Crowe, Christian Bale, who, by the way, is my favorite actor of all time. Haven't seen it yet. We'll watch it soon. A lot of these I haven't seen. Same goes to 42, the Jackie Robinson story with Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace. I'll watch it. A Quiet Place. Really nice. Really fun. Not great, but really fun. Argo. Really good. Really good. Ben Affleck, dude. He's an underrated director, gonna be honest. Arrival, another one of my favorite movies of all time. Denis Villeneuve, this is my favorite from him. Aquaman, not good, but it's fun. Batman, The Dark Knight Returns Part 1. Now we're in Batman territory. Batman Dawn of Justice. I actually came around on this, to be honest. With the recent DCEU movies, especially Wonder Woman 1984, I was like, dude, I have a brand new newfound appreciation for Zack Snyder and his work. And finally, rounding it off, is probably my favorite trilogy of all time, The Dark Knight Trilogy. Batman Begins, the best origin. The Dark Knight, the perfect sequel, and Dark Knight Rises, not the best finale. But hey, what can I say? I enjoy all three. And that's going to do it, guys. That is it for my Blu-ray collection. Took me around 30 minutes raw recording time. Actually better than expected. I thought it was going to take me around an hour. But we got through them all. I think we have around 111 movies, if I'm not mistaken. If you're still watching by the end of this video, comment in the section down below, Hotel Yuma. I looked at 2 Blu-rays and that's what I came up with. Hotel Yuma, comment that down below so I know that you watched until the end of the video. If you did, I really, really appreciate that. Like I said at the beginning, I make video essays on movies on this channel, so if that interests you and you haven't subscribed yet, do me a favor, click that like and subscribe button as well as that notification bell. And thank you for sticking around for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. Until then, have a great rest of your day and stay positive.